yetu amitapendwa ya vintu ifisume vyotwa kula kwibukisha kana depotimo wimbo wa temenu wa katongi abazunga batita katongi nakula kwibukisha kateka kaibuku muna kapona neseko shove pamezo yangu ama umebaya Iyaba maume Iyaba maume
Kateka wabantu Iyaba maume Twakulila lelo twakulila Iyaba maume Shika kukonke milimo shove Leti kumemo pula dolola vale lilo wingi
Iseko wingi mwakwete Iseko wingi mwakwete Mwaya mwende wino tata wesu
Katusi muchi wakege Wali bomba kale Lomba mwatu jatule lilage Good day and welcome to today, 4th of July. It's a very big day here in the United States. I was privileged to be part of an early morning parade, where you see a parade and people pledge allegiance to the flag. I wish we could have something like that invokes national patriotism, love for your country, love for your flag, and above all, interests that are beyond personal, nepotistic, tribal, or regional interest, and where you just hold the flag of the United States and pledge allegiance to it. I was fascinated to watch that, And so you all stand, put your hand on the heart, after the national anthem, and then you say, I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I thought that, it just makes you love Zambia all over again and recognize the wrong things we are doing. I've rushed back here to see if we can do this broadcast, and you'll be able to participate on the number listed there. The broadcast has been, I thought I could miss it because it's a holiday here in the United States, and it's a whole day of activities related to 4th July. So, but there have been development in South Africa. The Zambian government has filed a motion. This motion is demanding that the family of the late President Edgar Lungu, should surrender the body to the to the Republic of Zambia. They claim that President Lungu is entitled to a state funeral. They claim that under the former President's Benefits Act of 1993, as amended in 1998, that the former president was president of the Republic of Zambia, and the government has an obligation to accord him the state funeral as a tradition and culture for former presidents, and they are demanding that with or without the consent of the family, they need to get the body. And they want the court to order, that that the family and the South African government surrenders the body to the government of President HAKAINDE HICHILEMA, so that they can then bury President Edgar Lungu in Lusaka and accord him those state wishes. This is the freshest action, the motion that has been amended, and it was filed today. There's a new inclusion, the inclusion of suing the South African government through its Minister of International Relations and Cooperation, demanding that the body be sent to Zambia. The Minister of International Relations and Cooperation has become the 9th respondent in this case. So the family of the late Edgar Lungu will then file their motion in opposition by 3rd August, and then the court will rule by 18th. So remember, the young man Cornelius Mwetwa, who's chief government spokesperson, went on international media claiming that they have written to the family and they were demanding, that they were requesting for negotiation on the repatriation of the body of the remains of the president. He went on ENCA and he went on SABC, and they issued that public statement. It was all a lie. It was all a lie, as seen by this action that has been done by the Attorney General, suing the South African government, including the South African government to the legal suit, demanding, with or without consent of the family, that the body must be repatriated to Zambia. On Tuesday, I think 1st of July, there was an incident at the hospital where 3 men turned up, introduced themselves and medical doctors from the Zambian government, and that they wanted to have sight of the body of the late president. They were accompanied by some figure the hospital authority couldn't pick. They said he looked like either he's a chief or he's a traditional authority or he's a herbalist. I don't know what he was wearing, what he was carrying, maybe a hat or a nkonto or whatever it is that he was carrying. He looked like either he was a chief or he was a herbalist or he was a traditional healer or he's we don't know. But there was a 4th person that accompanied these doctors who demanded to see the remains of the late president at the hospital. Now, remember the Gauteng court, the Pretoria division, had ruled very clearly that no one should have access to this body except for the family members and the family spokesperson, and that if anyone wanted to have access to the remains of the late president, they should seek authority of the 7 who were cited. The Attorney General, has filed this motion, which I will explain just shortly. Let me show it to show you who they have sued. I hope I uploaded a copy of this. Okay, so the government of the Republic of Zambia has sued Mama Esther Lungu as the first defendant, Betha Lungu as the second defendant, Tasila Lungu, third defendant, Daliso Lungu, fourth defendant, Chieso Lungu, fifth defendant, Charles Piri, sixth defendant, Makebi Zulu, seventh as spokesperson, seventh defendant, Two Mountains, who are the undertaker, the morgue where the late president, they are handling the body of the remains of the late president, And now, as you can see, that other addition, the Minister of International Relations and Cooperation, they have sued the government of South Africa. Now, the law in South Africa is very clear. It favors the next of kin. So in this case, the court is likely going to rely on the wishes of the family. Government is claiming that there was no will and therefore there were no stated wishes by the late president. Well, the courts previously in South Africa has sided with the next of kin. What is the next of kin saying? And remember, then we have the unique case of President Edgar Lungu. On 28th October 2023, when he announced, a few days after the takeover of the Patriotic Front, he announced that he was returning to politics to, number one, reclaim the PF, to restore democracy, because President HAKAINDE HICHILEMA was engaged in destroying the opposition. What did government do after this? Government wrote a very stinging letter. I've published it on my page before, but I might be forced to read it again. Let me look for that letter. It was signed by Oliver Kalabo, Deputy Secretary to Cabinet, who stated that because of that announcement, they were going to withdraw all the benefits that President Lungu was entitled to. They were going to withdraw the police, which he was entitled to state security. They told Public Service Management Division, because the former president is entitled to a salary of 80% of the incumbent. They told PSMD to immediately withdraw the pensions and benefits. They also informed Cabinet Office. Cabinet Office under administration is the one that looks after former presidents, state functions, and also the office of the vice president. They instructed to stop, because there are some benefits that come through that office. Fuel, and certain subventions like a vehicle and other things. They told them to withdraw those benefits immediately. Then Oliver Kalabo then stated that because of all this, the office of the sixth president was now closed. No benefits, no anything, and the office of the sixth president no longer existed. There is the letter that was written by Oliver Kalabo, Deputy Secretary to Cabinet. So here is a man you stripped off all his benefits, and you said he's no longer entitled to anything. All of a sudden today you are saying it's state property. You said you had closed his office. Now all of a sudden you are saying no, we know he's state president. Yeah. There was also a letter that was written to all missions, abroad, that the former president should not be received or be given courtesies. When we published that letter, the state was so embarrassed that it proceeded to deny the letter, that the letter was not authentic. But we know it was authentic because it was given by very, very, very senior people in government. I'm trying to look for Oliver Kalabo's letter, where he disowned the president and closed the office of the sixth president. Today, they are saying he is state president. I mean, he's an asset of the state. Sorry, I was just looking for the letter. I will find it. That is a development regarding the former president. Very sad development. The state is moving in. They are saying President Edgar Lungu is a state property, and they want the remains of the late president, with or without the consent of the family. They want the court to order that the family and the South African government surrenders the body of the late president to Zambia. And I've just told you that on 1st July, there was an incident at the hospital where these men turned up, 3 of them, and with an uncharacteristic figure who the hospital described that he looked like a traditional healer, or he was a chief, or he probably was in traditional garb. I don't know how they described him, but he looked traditional. So the 3 medical doctors, 1 pathologist, 2 medical doctors, turned up at the hospital, and they wanted to have, they said, sight of the body. They didn't say they wanted to take it, no. They said they wanted to have sight of the body. And the hospital authority said, look, we've been alerted, we can't give you the body, we can't give you access to the body, unless, as the orders of the court states, one of the family members is available. So you go and pick one of the family members and pick them. Then we'll give you access to the body of the late president. They never came back, but we have record of that event. We want to akwalesa if you tuikele we know. It's very expensive to get a lawyer in South Africa. You know, in South Africa, I was privileged to have been ambassador there for 4 years. If you are in Sandton, you know, they say it's the most expensive area in Africa. Most expensive 1 acre, one hectare of land. In the beautiful buildings you find there will usually be owned by banks, insurance, pension funds, and lawyers. It's very expensive to get a lawyer in South Africa. In South Africa, law practice is a big business. So investors come together and put up this business. Then they employ lawyers. Tachaba nga fidiachaba kumwesu. Where kwewa fiatu basango, please na papa tamwise kukoti. Ngasha mwone kenda lama muke sans, you know, makebi isa kukoti tukesa mwana. Fidoko Tulea, Jonas, please come to court. No, I'm appearing in court on, please come and help me. I will give you. South Africa is not like that. So you can imagine the amount of stress that they've put the family through. The government, because Mulilo Kabesha is using your money as taxpayers, he can get any deposit and pay a lawyer. It's not the same for the family. So besides suing the family, there is big distress that has been put on the family to look for a lawyer, look for money, look for a lawyer, and ensure that the lawyer represents them. Someone was saying, but why doesn't Makebi represent the family? You cannot practice as a Zambian lawyer in South Africa. And South Africa has a unique law. Danish is a Danish stroke English common law. It's a hybrid, what they call a hybrid. And similarly, South African lawyers can't practice in Zambia. You know, even UK lawyers, if you remember, Amsterdam was a lawyer for Rupiah Banda. When he turned up and wanted to defend Rupiah Banda, they told him, first of all, you cannot practice in Zambia because you're an American and you don't have a law practice from Ziale. So our lawyers cannot represent the family of President Lungu in the South African court. They have to get a South African lawyer who then can stand for them. And that process, like I just stated, is an extremely expensive process. Let me come back with an update on Why Me, then I open the phone lines. It should be a short broadcast today. We want you to rest. It's Friday and there's a coming weekend coming up and you could be busy with this and that. Let me come up with the update for Why Me, Francis Kapwepwe. Then we invite you to speak and let's see where the broadcast takes us. God bless you. We'll be back just shortly.
Amita pendwa ya vintu fisumbe vyoza kula kwibukisha Tana depotimo Wimbo wa temenu wa katongi Awazunga watita katongi Nagula kwibukisha kateka Kaibuku muna kapona Nese kosiove pameso Yangu ama umebaya Iyaba baba ume Iya baba ume Iya baba ume
Twakulila, lelo twakulila Shika kukonke milimo shove
Ale filamba, yena minta pengo shile Leti kume mo kula dolo la vale Lilo wingi, yeah ibisebo wapanyiri obwingi okuchinja olusago kumoneko busaka mama kuzituwala basiyani Chagwa katuse.
The second part of our broadcast regards this young man. Why me? Why me is a TikToker, became famous from Chilabombwe because of his TikToking broadcast. But he immediately fell foul with the law. And remember, he was held for a period of almost a year. And when the trial judge convicted him, he said he had already served the term and released him after 1 year from a Livingstone judge. It didn't take long. Why me was again in trouble with the police. They were looking for him because of his criticism of President HAKAINDE HICHILEMA. There's been some insights that have come from Queen Pumi, who said, there was information that Why me was a patient. He was not well. He was a mental patient, and Chinama has records of him. Why didn't anyone bother to take him for treatment? But so Why me quickly fled to Zimbabwe, Harare, and he had been in Zimbabwe, and he would do his broadcast from Zimbabwe, but it didn't take long. And they got him from Zimbabwe. We'll get there shortly, but I want to introduce another person. This man is Mr. Tony Sakashenda. He's a well-known businessman from Chingola. On 17th January 2025, the Zambia police from Service Headquarters and Kitwe stormed his house in Chingola, brutally beat him in front of his children, took him away. They searched the entire house. The following day, they came and they were wearing masks. They dug around. The family didn't know what they were looking for. And that date, 17th and 18th January 2025, that was the last time the family saw Tony Sakashenda. The family believes that after the police took him, they probably have annihilated him, and the family is asking for answers. They are demanding from the Inspector General of Police, Mr. Grafio Musamba, to tell them where his police officers from Zambia Police Service Headquarters and Kitwe took Mr. Sakashenda Tony from Chingola. The dates that the family has given is January 17th, 2025. It's been 7 months, and they don't know where Mr. Tony Sakashenda is. He was brutally beaten. The police, I don't know what they were looking for from him. They beat him that day, searched his house. They came the following day, and neighbors said he was even, now the police were now, the second day they were wearing masks. I think they knew the sinister motive. They were still beating him, did the search, including the yard. Again, they took Mr. Tony Sakashenda from Chingola, and he has never been seen since then. This young man, why me? His name is Francis Kapwepwe. Francis Kapwepwe is a TikToker, became famous with his TikTok from Chilabombwe, and he fell foul with the law. He ran to Zimbabwe. The information we have is that preceding this date were these events. This young girl on the left in a pink dress is the sister to Waimi, is a stepsister to Waimi, the one with the pink jacket. Then the one on the right is fiance to Waimi. The one on the left is called Shansi. That's her sister to Waimi. She was called from the Copper Belt a day before, and Waimi informed her that arrangements had been made by his fiance Lubu Tomsonda, who works for a ministry in Kasama, and that they wanted Shansi to witness the engagement. Transport was sent for Shansi to come to Livingstone, and the engagement took place at Urban Hotel at the golf club there. There's a brand new hotel, Urban Hotel. And the engagement took place on 31st May 2025 at Urban Hotel. That is the engagement. Now, the facts we are gathering is that, first of all, why me said someone was helping him. He didn't buy the ring. He didn't pick Washibukombe, but he produced his sister. He sent money to his sister to come and witness this. Why me said his friends had organized well-wishers to help him with this marriage. If you've seen, there's a gentleman there, is a Bashibukombe. We are asking who he is for you people in Kasama. Some are saying is a southerner, but he teaches at Kasama Secondary School. We don't know we are looking for, but we are trying to piece the facts together. So after the engagement, Waimi was told that the ring and his passport, apparently Lubuto Musonda said a passport was organized for Waimi so that they could go and live in another country, and that she will send the passport and the ring. I spoke to the sister just before I came on the show. The sister Shansi says, no, that story I'm hearing it for the first time. The ring is still with me. I asked her who bought the ring. She says, I don't know, but I found the ring. So I left Shansi's copy of the ring with her, and I got Waimi, and the ring for Waimi is still with me. And she said she was going to send me a picture of the ring. 2 days later, this is according to those confidants, like the lady that had brought here, who spoke to you, who calls herself the mother to Waimi. Waimi narrated that an engagement had taken place and that they were going to bring him, according to Washibukombe and others that advised him, that they'll bring him a new passport and that they'll bring him his type of ring. So on this day, in Harare, Waimi turned up. Those are police officers from Zambia Police Service headquarters. At that filling station, they were captured in Harare. They came to luring Waimi, that I think Waimi felt, I don't know who he thought he was speaking to, whether he was speaking to Lubuto or Washibukombe, whoever was in the entourage, said they had his ring and his passport. And Waimi came with a friend of his at that it's a mini shopping place and filling station in Harare. And that was the last time Waimi was seen. Those officers who have been captured on CCTV got Waimi on 2nd June 2025. That's the last time we heard about it. As soon as Waimi was gotten, we began to see stories from Kalemba, from CIC, from Koswe, that Waimi was captured and that Waimi was in his way to Livingstone. Koswe there was celebrating on that day that if the system wants you, it even offers women just like insults. Encyclopedia got pounced. That is Koswe reporting the arrest. Then they say when JJ got back to their apartment, he didn't find Waimi. He didn't find him. And he started calling funders, saying, Mufana uyasowa kuno, Mufana uyasowa kuno. Of course, JJ is not there. Here, girl got him passport and agreed to do white wedding in Malaysia, but he didn't know it was a system he insults. Koswe is a rogue newspaper from the state, from State House. It's under the belly of State House. So they knew what they were talking about. What went wrong? What went wrong is reports emerged, 7 days later. Waimi was brought to Lusaka. We understand he was sedated. He was brought through Chirundu to Lusaka to Lilai police station, and where he was severely beaten and tortured for a period of 7 days. And on 9th June, we understand that Waimi died in police custody, arising from the injury and a torture that he had been subjected to since they got him from Harare. So he died in police custody. We don't know if it's at Lilai police station. We don't know, but that's the information that immediately emerged. And sources, filalanda, abantu balalanda, and people quickly told us that Waimi was feared dead on 9th June. Information immediately came out. Ray Hamonga, police spokesperson, panicked, and he issued a statement denying that there was no operation to go to Zimbabwe or Chirundu, and that Waimi was not in their custody. Why was Ray Hamonga denying this operation confirmed by State House Rogue Media? Why was he denying? It even brought more fear that Waimi had probably died in police custody. Later, the following day, they began to issue, where they send you text, they send you this, how they plant information. They began to plant information that Waimi was badly beaten, but part of the torture was to take him into mortuary and lock him up there so that he could say who his so-called funders were. So they planted that story, and a few media influencers began to parrot that story. But from the information we have is that Waimi must have died on or before 9th June 2025. Where is the body? What have they done with the body? Where is Waimi? Produce him. And another person we are asking is this gentleman, Tony from Chingola, who was abducted by the police on 17th January 2025, beaten, his house searched in front of his children, his yard searched. They came the following day. The following day, they were wearing masks. The police were wearing masks. They took him away, and he hasn't been seen since 17th January. The family is asking that they should produce this gentleman. They took him away. They should take him to court, and they should produce him. If they killed him, they should produce his body. Tony Sakashenda, a businessman from Chingola. So why me? There are other reports of people missing mysteriously that were picked by the police. Some claim they were picked by C5 and they've disappeared. Just today I was hearing reports of some, PF youths that were picked from Chawama, others from Matero, and it's been 3 months, they have not heard from them. If there are family members that have lost a family member or was picked by people alleging that they were policemen, especially, and you are missing him, please begin to get in touch with us or begin to get in touch with Mr. Nakachinda. We don't know how widespread this is, but just today I heard that there have been some youths that are missing. These are non-ordinary poor people. So, they might not have the muscle that we have. They might not have the stature that Waimi had, that you can trace and know that they're missing. In the old jigsaw puzzle, we are looking for this man. He was Washibu Kombe. He was not picked by Waimi, but he presented himself as Washibu Kombe, representing Waimi. The other one on the left, we know her. She's a sister to Waimi. She just came from the Copper Belt to witness this engagement. We need to piece together and bring to book these people that have, if they've terminated the life of Waimi, they need to be brought to life. No one has a right to take any life, whether it's a life of Tony or Waimi. Even if Waimi was showering insults on the late president, the current president, it is no justification that he should be taken, his life should be taken away in the manner we are understanding. So the Inspector General of Police has an obligation. Today, our dear brother Mal Sampa raised the question to the Minister of Home Affairs But the speaker immediately defended that the minister didn't need to answer because the reports were unverified. We are calling for an immediate investigations in this way. From information we have, we understand is police, members of the police from service headquarters that came to Harare, picked Waimi. It was elaborate. They started with an engagement and they tricked the young man that there was a passport and a ring they needed to deliver. And this is the last time there's a CCTV footage that shows this policeman who picked Waimi, and that was the last time he was seen. This is in Harare on 2nd June 2025. We want to Bakwalesa Ngafueniko. This is the passport that they alleged that they were bringing for Waimi. A copy was sent to Waimi and he sent it to his mother that they had obtained a passport for him. Can this girl really have capacity to get a passport? Can this young lady here, this young lady, can she organize a passport and obtain a passport without Waimi? Is it possible in Zambia? Can you get a passport without the owner of the passport? So how did they get a passport for Waimi and send it a copy to Waimi and then lured him that come and get your passport? We want to Akwalesa Isentwafwane. The calls are now open. Let's talk.
Abitapendwa ya vintu ifisume vyuza bula kwibukisha Kana depotimo Wimbo wa temenu wa katongi Abazunga wajita katongi Nagula kwibukisha kateka Aibukubu na kapona Neseko siove pamenso Yamwa umebaya Iyaba ume Iyaba ume
We have our first caller on the line. Please identify yourself, introduce yourself, and let's know your name and make your contributions. Is it on the body of the late president or is it on the matter of Waimi?
I'll touch both quickly.
Thank you.
Touch both quickly.
Please introduce yourself. Yeah.
I just have decided to remain anonymous.
That's
Thank
fine.
you very much. Yeah, I think this government for once has to be serious with what they are doing. This is not a win-win. This is not about flexing muscles. This is not about, showing who is so powerful, who is in power. There is a family that is here. There is a family that has lost. To start with, Edgar Lungu was never recognized as a president of Zambia by our president now. Edgar Lungu was disgraced as a person by this very government. One just wonders, what is it that they really want, from, ECL'S, body or body? Is this just meant, to do what, this government is good at in always, torturing people mentally, emotionally, till they lose it? Is this what it is? Because one wonders why this fight, and it just brings into light the speculations that have been there, to do with, people that have gone there before trying to get this body and bring it. So we have a lot of questions really to ask, and we're really wondering as Zambians, what is this obsession about the remains of our former president? We know for sure that this has nothing to do with, the dignity of the president, ECL, be buried in Zambia, but this whole thing is about showing who who is powerful, who has won, especially to do with the people that actually support this government. So for me, I know that this is a losing battle. At the end of the day, yeah, I know the South African government and the laws there will definitely favor the family. And we stand and support the family in the decision that they make. You know, this is not the first time something like this is happening. This has been, the South African system has been tested before regarding an issue like this, and it went in favor of the family. So I have no doubt that this is what is going to happen. On why me, you know, in as much as we do not agree with, you know, his behavior and how he carried himself, I think it is only right that he is subjected to the system, that is the judicial system of our country. The judicial system of our country, whether you're a criminal of whatever magnitude, is that you should be given an opportunity to be tried before the law, you know, and let the law take its course against you. And if you are found guilty, a right punishment is given to you, but not these extrajudicial that have become synonymous with this government. Where this is not the first time, just like you highlighted that man from Chingola today. You know, I was so disappointed with the Speaker of the National Assembly today. Why she would always want to defend. A question was given to the Minister of Home Affairs to respond or answer to what is happening right now in Zambia regarding Kapwepwe. But the Speaker went on to respond on behalf of, you know, the Home Affairs Minister. And it just died like that. So for me, we have a very big problem. And trust me, a lot of people will go missing. We cannot have a country where everyone is running away. Either they are running away, seeking asylum elsewhere, or they are in prison, or they are dead. This issue, it may, whatever time it may take them to be in government, they will answer to this. As long as it is in public domain, one day they'll be answerable. I thank you, Ambassador Mwamba. Thank you so much for the great work that you're doing. I know you are called names, but that doesn't matter. You are one of the credible people. You know, if I'm looking for information, for me, I just have to go on your page. But as usual, they have a way that they want to tarnish and make every credible, you know, information to look like it's not credible, so that it fits their narrative. But we know and we understand as Zambians. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, my brother. Hello, good evening. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
My name is Fidelis, calling from Lusaka.
Yes, Fidelis, make your contributions.
Yes, first of all, I'm glad that you've come up with such a platform where people can air their views and say what's affecting them.
Yes.
Talking about the late President, Mr. Edgar Chagwa Lungu, I feel there's a lot that government could have done if I thought their intentions were genuine and true to what they portray out there. I would say, for instance, there was a situation where the PS traveled to South Africa. They sat down with the family and the family spokesperson to agree on one common ground. Right there on the podium, if you heard what Council Makebi was saying and what the PS was announcing, two contradicting statements right there on the podium. Take another example. While they had agreed to say they should repatriate the body here with ABCD conditions, there were situations where Koswe was posting on the media saying Mr. ECL was in South Africa on a Zimbabwean diplomatic passport. And his names were not Edgar Chagwa, Lungu. Already that was a mockery to the family, which had agreed earlier to repatriate the body to Zambia. So already there was lack of trust on that part. Going on the media, there were stories to say the road which was leading to the funeral house in Chifuema, somewhere there, was now under construction. They had to start constructing the road. And it was supposed to lay in state at their residence. They started constructing the way. That was another way of giving an excuse to say the body cannot go to Chifuema because we are constructing the roads. again, if we look at the relationship these people had, they had a very, very terrible relationship, which is not even good for Zambia as well. Because Zambia now, I can say it even needs a lot of healing. It needs healing right now as we speak. One, Mr. ECL, when before he even joined, came back to politics. There are many instances where he was denied passage to go out of the country many times for medical purposes and other reasons. All that hurt the family so much that they felt maybe the reason why he's late today is because of the other camp, which a normal person should, a normal sympathetic person should understand and bear with the family on that one. So I feel there are a lot of things that these people could have done. One, they could have been transparent, they could have been honest, and they could have just said, okay, His Excellence is not going to be present, but you send people on his behalf. You ask the VIP to go and represent him, the PS, those people that at least can easily relate with the family. They would have gone that route and would have been discussing a very different story right now. But then, it's a crazy thing. So that's my contribution anyway.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. Good evening. Please tell us your name and make your contribution.
Hello, good evening, Ambassador.
Good evening.
MK6.
MK, make your contribution.
Sure. I don't know if it's even a contribution or I'm just full of questions in my head.
Yeah.
Firstly, I don't know how a government that is superseded or that is supervised by an Attorney General should sue the Minister of International Relations. I don't know how the minister has come into this issue, first of all. And then, like always, we are just praying because, like Makebi said yesterday, is it yesterday? He said, barring ECL in Zambia will be a mockery. It's a full mockery. Look, they might, maybe a few of them, they might have that desire or that mind of putting our president to rest in dignified manner. But look at their supporters. Look what is happening on social media. Even if I was to be the son to ECL, I think I would just say kill me than embarrassing my father in his death. So I think let's be sincere. Let's run away from being hypocrites. Let's just face the truth that what is happening back home has actually made the Lungu family do what they are doing. A normal person wouldn't even support them to repatriate the body. Lastly, I heard the last caller who said people are running away. You know that it has become very easy to seek an asylum anywhere you go as a Zambian. It's become very easy. I've helped people already who have gone because of political machinations. And then when you look at Waimi, the way he has disappeared, there's another story. I think you've seen it for the Chingola man. I've just forgotten the name of that man who has disappeared from January to date. The family don't know where he is. You know? And how many of you politicians have been abducted without knowing where you've been taken until such a time when they feel like, oh, there's pressure. We cannot live like this. Let me just use your platform here to speak to the people. So we've got Amnesty International, we've got the UN, we've got other international bodies that we can report to because the police in Zambia are doing extremely nothing when we report such issues to them. So please, let's not relent and look to the Zambian police. We have police everywhere in the world. You can report what is happening in the country. It's not a crime. So please, let's be observant. Let's look after each other and see what is happening. We've never lived like this before in Zambia. We've never. And as they like saying, it's the first time since independence. And it's true. It's the first time.
Yeah. MK, thank you very
so
much. Thank you. Let me take some other calls.
Thank
Thank you for your call. Okay, the calls are coming in. They're coming in. Good evening. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
My name is Michael and I'm calling from England. Wombashani ambassador.
Yole salet sunga shana imwe.
Awe na ine ngifewino.
Indeed.
Am I live on your? Am I live?
Yes, you are. Yes, you are. Make your contributions.
Yeah, my contribution is I was watching Parliament and the member of Parliament, Mau Sampa.
Yeah.
He asked a question. Asking about the Yako IME and Mkwai. Twachimona wonse kuno ku England wonse tulemona. So number either question yachafe open. Mau Sampa bachira chokwe batu ushawa IME alikwisa ida nankane question yachipisha Mau Sampa. It was direct to that way so Jack Mwimbu. Mwamona yacho direct to Jack Mwimbu. But Jack Mwimbu wachiringa basuka. Mwamona no but now to papa fe for abantu wonse kuno bama eba meri muti eba mbo kwasikira ko ba nanga minister of yes. Is that ushichishi wosu mauja shuwafi. Ushausuma fi honestly mwantu wakwalesa. Jack Mwimbu ngeba chasuka no mama eba meri muti eba ashikira mundu mali shitwala kuita shuwa honestly speaking.
Yeah.
Abantu beswale ruba. Ule muneso wakuchingola ali ruba tapali nabalanda po. Bamwamba usheri shitwala kuisa mbe chalo chesu. Twala ya kui.
Mkwai.
Contribution is
very powerful. Thank you very much, my brother. Hello, good evening. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
Good evening. Just call me Mr. X.
Mr. X, please make your contribution, sir.
Yeah. Thank you very much. In fact, I will touch the issue of why me, as well as the former president. And if you, Mr. Mwamba, if you look at the submission from the Attorney General, from what we have seen from the social media, what they have submitted before the court, you can even tell to say these people, because you cannot submit from what the Attorney General was saying, say no, they have got evidence to provide before the court. But meanwhile, we will use another means to stay engaged with family. Now, if you look at the way these Attorney Generals submitted before the court of South Africa, you can even tell to say, balelunda fironda pachironda chinankwe.
Yeah.
It depends, especially that you don't have evidence. Just because you are using taxpayers' money. Who could study step? You have a situation whereby the entire Zambians, if not all, we have South Africa, we have Kuchitamoni, the former president, Waleta injunction. But no, we have got evidence to say about proceed because there is a, and I was very surprised because I expected maybe probably they will produce a judgment which was delivered by issue kwa Wakaunda and the family. Unfortunately, with submission yabo, there is literally nothing but submit based on the issue of Wakaunda because what the Attorney General saying no, according to the judgment, blah 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 blah. There is this evidence which was provided, and the court made a judgment. But there is literally nothing.
Yeah.
They are coming up with something. You can even tell to say, South Africa. I don't know. Just that time lawyers will have to.
Yes.
instead of them engaging the family to say, my families, to a papa, we were supposed to engage you. The former president died today. But government in the they were supposed to announce that funeral the same day.
Yeah.
It took them almost 3 days for them to come up with that announcement to say there is this funeral. On top of that, let's clear and up. If you have a government back what they meet in Shabi, Pakulosha Kunfaya Balungu, Bali Bapishomo Fulafulomu Ingi Fie. You know what? By UPND, Bali Bafe, they have got that mentality, ya Quatafio Pato naturally, Fianga Pata, Fieva Pata, Tawaka Quevere Patuli Musuma. Bamamba, you remember very well, Naqualico Bantuavali against Namwanawasa policies, Yavoniva PF. But when Mwanawasa died, the first person who could amble before Mwanawasa Nivasada. And we mourn Mwanawasa, regardless of which political affiliations. But with UPND, the first thing they did, instead of announcing the funeral of the former president, they went in rampant to celebrate the death of the former president.
Yeah.
Almost every, I'm speaking from a Lulo constituency, I'm speaking from a Lulo constituency, to be specific Kaputa. To be specific Kaputa. Even where I am in Kaputa, they celebrated UPND, staunch UPND members, they celebrated the death of the former president. What transpired if we were against some of the policies, but when he died, but with UPND there is nothing like that.
Yeah. My brother, thank you very much. No, they are insulting. Thank you very much. Let's see if we can pick some more calls and I give my views. Yes. Good evening. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from. Good evening. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
This is Kelvin from Lusaka.
Switch off the other device or mute it and speak through the microphone. Speak louder.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is Kelvin.
Yeah. Make your contributions, Kelvin.
Speak through the microphone. Thank you very much, Mr. Mwamba. The first thing, the president Edgar Chagwa government yakwete relationship, full relationship inavena yakwebati abantu bamone okwebo kutila uyu muntu alini former president, no respect tapali even kuti twalanda fe ko kutila fyonse bali fumishepo. So even na family yaba Lungu kuyoko ilelo lekeshano kumonefya abantu bale post na pa social media kumono kwa it's very true chishinka. So imitima ili yakalipa abantu nangu benga monika kwati na bachita pretend bati abantu abamano na beshoko kutila family fyo bale ifishamo bintu fimo ifibi limwe fintu fimoneka simpo nga tafiri kuri iwe. Lelo ichirefu waikwa kwa fuilisha family yaba Edgar Chagwa, not even the family, even the people of Zambia, so that abantu beshi beshinka. And if your government ichitire submit, it's totally different. Let's hear ichitika pali ba Lungu nga mwati mumona. Yeah, example bale pere yaba kaunda. Totally different, my brother. Tafipali renako. Ushewa kaunda bali kwete po ukubatirita ngefi balungu bapitiremo.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, Kelvin. Wind up quickly. Okay.
So if you're Neranda Ata please wa Mr. Mwambanga inchitowe mule bomba ya makasana tuletotela. Please tuwafuilishe niko nokuleka fyonse file mwaneko kwebo kutila tatufishi bemwafileta pa social media so that mwatuchitako update. Thank you.
Thank you. Good evening. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
Good evening, Ambassador.
Good evening, sir.
Mwabombe mkwaiba tata.
Yole sale tupala shana imwe.
Nati na nembike kwa mashiwi.
Ilandeni ama.
Eri omulere teri kwete sana mano. Bamwamba weso. Ichakutangirira ku kintu kimwe ekyo tufuye twonse n'abayusi mulebe babaru abene bakamundeterere batata weso bakawunda bali twebere abati ababantu barumendo bonkwete apa tabakwete ubwafya no kutungurira ekyalo bati uyu munumendo uyu akesa akanye ekyalo bayusi kozi tabashupa bali bazembe kana tuma switi sicho bomfuira bakarambuvu baliranda numba batureterera bamasoni bali mu kyalo kyesu Lotshedingi abantu bambo okulaluba ushaba mamba icyaro kimwe cyitwa Christian Nation ushye mwarasa muite ushikubaho be party useless day ushye mwe na Zambia twati poshani ifintu ifya ko bati natumuna no kumona ati ububulo shitwefira no kumona ushye ni Busheba mwamba.
Mkwai.
Busheba mwamba no rutapaso swa. Ififire chitikapa. Ababeni abantu bari chitifi. Kuko bafumata kwa baba karamba. Natukwata empty tomb. Natukwata echitumbi ojo turi chusha. Bushete kwa baba karamba ko bafuma. Norufye ko bafuma kwa bafuma fye fuba. Ifi bari chitifi bari se banye charo. Nokutubika nabantu bonse bale tubika pali aho bene obarese kanga mazambianzi bamwamba weso ara natusebana na abantu fo bale chita konse fe kumakona ya kuteke cyaro direta fe musebanya mu parliament mwaje unaika icyaro cyesu petition nayo unaika bayusi ocho mwachitire mukese chitani du Tinafire mwacherere mukese kufunya ku impuso yenu.
Thank you, Bane. Thank you very much for your contribution. Quickly wind up. Okay, I think he's finished. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
Hello, Mwamba.
Yes, sir. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
Yeneni nemurenga mwaume ndetumi nokufuma ku USA mwina chinsali umuzambian
Mkwa yo banela ndeni pona imwe
weba fyashi olotapaso swa kuti wasuka wasosa Pena ifire chitika muchalo chesu cha Zambia no muntu wine wale support ababantu ndemonanga mwaikala bwino mwalanshanya na bena ngebo tukwete kuno pwena balela ndati iftafiweme
Yes.
Moneni umwaicho ndande kupa mwaicho yukapwepwe takuri umuntu mutunturu wale supporta ukutukana kwakwe iyo batecho natemwa kwa bazambia nchakwe bati tabasupporta ichiruwo whether ni government or umuntu fye yawe turuishe chiruwo ne chiruwo iyo umwaiche ale ukanale chinenshi batepo turenda kwati ifunde let the law take its course like they have proclaimed themselves to say they are the government of laws. Unfortunately, this is a government without laws and with total disrespect for the law of Zambia. Zambians are listening, Zambians are watching. People of God, let's stand back kulilesa. If you chitika mu Zambia, tafiatara chitika po yo. Tieni tuwelele kuchezo cha kwalesa tufunyepo ababantu balandati ngatauleta mfya inamashire kulira ifina mafire kulira ifitekwa muyadi mumobe pafamu pamo wita ule fipepeka o pafamu pamu ule fipepeka ngafya puisha fikesa pa yobe famu
na utambo mnobe bale muipata ulelanda nga bapwisha ulya balaisa kuliwe efo chaba pano pachalo batiro usungo munango techuka. Let's hold our hands together. Let's move together. What's happening is wrong. To start with the president, the former president, it is wrong. Let the president humble himself. Let the president address this case like a president. You can never be an enemy to somebody, even in death. It has never happened before. I have a lot to say, but I will leave it here for now.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Thank you. Hello, good evening. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
I'm calling from Osaka.
Okay, make your contributions, sir. What's your name and tell us your contributions.
Chalandesh Nariandi.
Okay, you're Landeni.
Therefore, I feel Sanangani, but I think if it's Tika Zaro Jeswa, the few women on Pano. Man, know that the government are board, they won't feel on the Varanda. Then you have walked Tikisha, our now. Pansambusha, one wants to talk about my lights. So that Chitana, that will Tikisha, our name. Power, Yari, power, Yari, temporal. Power belongs to the people. So the monarchy, if you value po, no my Robakawapo, Kawoku of Niapo.
Thank you very much. Good evening. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from. Good evening. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
Hello?
Yes, please tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
Okay. My name, I'll say Ninebo Kwenyu.
Kwaiba
I will
Kwenyu.
not address my name.
Kwaiba Kwenyu Landeni po.
Minister Emmanuel, to tell you the truth, what is taking place in Zambia, we are not happy. And we want Zambia to be redeemed back to how we had peace from the time of the time we received democracy. Zambia has never been the way it is now. So we are really crying to God that God should take us back. And then talking about Dr. ECL, I think let it be that he should just be buried in SA. We want that to happen so that when the good government comes in, things can now be done in a polite way and with respect. Because our president did a lot, and we want to remember him continuously with respect. And then coming with the issue of why me and the other man that was adopted and the likes, there is a lot that is going on under this government. Already today, I'm from receiving news from the mine which is in Mufumbwe. The police have killed live the people, the miners that are working, who are the local people, the Zambians. They've been shot dead. They are in cold blood right now as we speak. So what is taking place, it's really bad, Mr. Mwamba. And we are going to change the government coming 2026. We are going to change the government. Zambians, yes, we have been kicked by cyber laws. We are quiet, we don't talk, but we know what we are going to do. Coming 2026, we know what we are going to do. It's a pity that God allowed our Dr. ECL to be taken. We wanted him back, but God will still raise us somebody that is going to lead us, who has a heart. Thank you so much. That was my contribution.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
The line is open. Let's hear from you. We are discussing two matters, a matter regarding why me and the issue of the Zambian government have sued the South African government for surrender of the remains of the late president. They want a court to compel the family and the government of South Africa to surrender the body of the late president to them. They are no longer asking for help. They are no longer asking for questions. They just want that body, and that the body should come, because under the former President's Benefits Act, that body belongs to Edgar, to the state. They are citing the former President's Benefits Act as a principal authority. Now, remember, President Lungu's benefits and pensions were stripped, and his office was closed by the letter that we'll read here. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
Mr. Mwamba, I don't know there if it's morning or what. I'm also calling outside Zambia.
Wonderful.
In Asia.
Okay.
Yes.
Tell us your name and your contribution.
Yeah, my name, I'll just hide it anyway.
Okay.
My major concern is mostly on this Kapambwe. I'm very much interested in this case. So I think I really want to take it up strongly so that we see those who are involved into his death. Because we can't have Zambia whereby people are disappearing like this. It's something which is uncalled for. It's like each and everyone now is living in fear. Whatever happens, as long as it's politically related or whatever, next time we'll just disappear like that. So please, I would love to have the guidance of how we can take this seriously. If it's international police or whoever who is involved, human rights, we have to take it seriously so that we see we have justice. Zambia must have justice towards this. We don't want such type of barbaric things to be happening in our country, and we are seeing just because someone was on the other side of the party talking rubbish, what and what. These things have been there since independence. People would talk, but no, it couldn't reach to such an extent. So, Mr. Mwamba, thank you very much. This is the only thing which has touched me, and I really want to take it seriously. This one.
Thank
Whoever
you.
was involved, from the same Shibukombe to those who are involved, we need to have great investigation. It starts from there until we get the culprits. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Hello, good evening. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
Good evening. Here it's evening. I don't know that side whether it's morning or it's afternoon.
Thank you, my brother. Introduce yourself and make your contributions.
Okay, Honorable Mamba, this is Charles Mbewe, known as Mr. Fresh, Lusaka. Yeah, so I think I want to touch on the issues of late President Edgar Lungu.
Yes.
For me, from my own wisdom and from my understanding, Honorable Mamba, you agree with me that ECL died as a man who was in active politics. Okay? From the time ECL decided to return into active politics, we are told that the Constitution demands that he ceased to be the former head of state. Right? Is there any provision that decides or tell us to say once you are dead, then you become back as a former head of state? As I know myself, I've been calling this to say ECL was the ex-former head of state. As things stand, he died in active politics. Meaning, in short of my understanding, it means that ECL was no longer, controlled by this government system, looking at the fact that they took away all the entitlements, including health insurance from the presidential benefits. So should the presidential benefit comes only when the person is dead? I think for me, that is something that I will call it's rubbish, and whoever is thinking in that particular way as a state, a personnel or trying to educate the masses, I think it's rubbish for people to come and, try to be good when someone is gone.
Thank you, my brother.
Me, I'll say, Honorable Mamba, that ECL was in active politics and he died while in active politics. And what we know is about the Constitution tells us that you cannot be a former head of state and enjoy the government, benefits while you're in active politics. So it does not hold any water for the Attorney General to say these things automatically restored after death. Then whoever was thinking or planning for that constitution was not thinking. It doesn't add up. So these people, I think for me, I don't know who has advised them to say they should even indicate that the benefits are restored when one is dead. It doesn't add up, Honorable.
Thank you very much, my brother.
Please,
thank you very much.
Let those that are listening from the government or the same Attorney General, where was the Attorney General when ECL was denied access to go for medicine? Why didn't he sue this same government when ECL was denied access? Because it was in public domain. And today they're claiming to say they are not aware. Are they in Zambia or they are living somewhere where there's no network? I think we are being ruled by people who really, their thinking capacity is too low. Thank you so much, Honorable Mom.
Thank you, my brother. Thank you. The South African government has sued the family of the late president. They have included the South African government. They are demanding that the remains of the late president be repatriated to Zambia. It's no longer an issue of negotiating with the family. They want the body of the late president, to be brought to Zambia. Please call, let's hear your views. I promised to read a letter here. I'll read it before the end. I've got it, where they stripped the president of all benefits and closed his office of 6th president. Good evening. Please tell us your name and where you're calling us from.
Good evening. Thank you. This is Beauty calling from Lusaka.
Beauty, make your contributions.
Yes, a quick one. First, I just want to appreciate the program that you are bringing. We really appreciate. Then straight to my points. Over our former head of state, it's better for him to be laid in South Africa, to be buried in South Africa, because, I wasn't for the idea at first because I loved him. I'm not into politics. Some of us are not into politics. We always say Zambia is above all political parties. It belongs to all of us. But I was saying, let him come because we really wanted to mourn him. But with the way things are unfolding, let him be laid there in South Africa, and then later he's going to come back. Why? We all saw how the president was treated. We also, it was so sad, the way they used to stop him going to access medicals in South Africa. Believe me, you UPND, you are listening, that was wicked. It was really, really wicked, and God doesn't like that. Then again, Maeva Esther Lungu and those orphans, the battle UPND that you're fighting the battle against God. This is scripture. This is the word of God. You're fighting. You're not fighting against anybody else. You're fighting against God. And me, I know how this is going to end. This is going to end as, the legal matter will fall in the favor of the family. Believe me, we know how this is going to end. Please, UPND, stay away. Now, feel from which they apply, Kabesha. Please, with due respect, sir. Feel like you're going to fight against God. Nobody is going to stand on the way of God. This is a Christian nation, and we believe in the values of Christians. We still stand with the family because you know what I mean. So now, over Francis and Francis, we never used to support Francis. I stand with the other callers as well because he used to insult. But where is he? This nonsense must come to an end. We don't want to see such things in Zambia. We don't want anyone to come and be mistreated again. The way this family also the former first family has been mistreated. This is very bad. Believe me, you. And, it's just that people are so scared. I don't know. In the first church mother body, the church mother body in Zambia, you are cowards. You are cowards. Because this thing was supposed to be sorted out by the church, but the church is quiet. Where are the fathers of faith in the country? Where are they? So now, I'm foreseeing this thing of maybe trying to go back, whatever, where women were going to now stand up for Mama Esther Lungu. This is not good. We are going to stand and we are going to stand for them and we are going to pray and we are going to cry. This is very bad. It's not good what is happening. Now, Francis, Tumumone, whatever that has happened, that has transpired, the God that sees the Salem, anyone behind this is going to come out in the open. Because
thank you very much, my dear sister.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, she touched on the Bible. The Bible is very clear. Exodus 22, verse 22 to 27. Do not mistreat the widow or the fatherless. If you do, and they cry out to me, I will certainly hear their cry. My anger will be aroused, and I will kill you with the sword. Your wives will also become widows, and your children will become fatherless. This is Exodus 22, verse 22 to 27. So the Lord protects his own, himself, nobody else. Good evening. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from. Yeah, hello. Good evening. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening. I'm TK calling you from Lusaka.
Okay.
Good evening, Ambassador.
Good evening. Please make your contributions.
Ambassador, what is going on in this country? I can say whatever is happening, like the death of the former president, it is for the purpose. God has allowed to be the way it is. It is for the purpose. And what these people are doing, others might think that they have won, that now Edgar Lungu is gone. Others are celebrating and whatever they are doing. But I can assure you, Ambassador, that the way God works, you can have your plan, but God has got a final say. The way it is in life, we plan even 5 years ahead of us to say after next year I'm going to do this, but God has got a final say. So what these people are doing, they think that they are
network. Yeah. Thank you. I found the letter. Let me read it quickly before I go back to the phone calls. So the letter was a confidential letter written on 30th October 2023, 2 days after President Lungu came back to active politics. It was written by Dr. Oliver Muvita Kalabo, who was acting secretary to the cabinet at the time. And this was a letter to President Edgar Lungu. It's dated 30th October. Pensions and other benefits to the 6th President of the Republic of Zambia. Reference is made to the above captioned letter. On 28th October, during the 9th memorial anniversary of the late Mr. Michael Chilufya-Sata, 5th President of the Republic of Zambia, Your Excellency, you announced that you had returned to active politics. According to Section 2 of the Benefits of the Former President's Benefits Act, amended in 1998, promulgated by Act Number 21 of 1996, active politics is identified as the doing or of anything indicating a person's intention to hold elective or appointed office. Further, Your Excellency, the said act provides for the pensions and other benefits conferred of this act to be paid, not to be paid, assigned or provided to a former president who engages in active politics. Therefore, following Your Excellency's decision to return to active politics, as evidenced by your acts and your speech delivered by Your Excellency on 9th memorial anniversary of Mr. Michael Chulfiasata, you are hereby informed that government shall henceforth no longer provide benefits accruing to the office of the 6th President of the Republic of Zambia in accordance with the law. Accordingly, Your Excellency, be informed that government will enforce the law to the latter with immediate effect and will withdraw all benefits conferred on you by the Act. Accordingly, Your Excellency, please also note that we've removed you from the payroll effective 1st November 2023. In addition, the office of the 6th President is now closed and with immediate effect. And all the staff that were allocated to the office will be redeployed. Further, take note that government will no longer provide security, accommodation, transport, and other requirements as the law provided to a former president. Your Excellency, kindly be informed. Dr. Oliver Muvita Kalabo, Acting Secretary to Cabinet. Copy, Attorney General. Copy, Principal Private Secretary at State House. Copy, Permanent Secretary, Public Service Management Division. Copy, Permanent Secretary, Cabinet Office. Copy, Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Home Affairs and Internal Security. They even closed the office of the former president. Today, Attorney General is suing the family and South African government that they want the body to be returned to Zambia because he's a former president, and as a former president under this act is entitled to these benefits. So you can now call. I just wanted to give you an informed opinion so that your contributions are more informed. Good evening. Please tell us your name and where you're calling us from.
Oh, Nevo Stonge.
But Stonge Landeni po.
Oh, Tirawon. Kopa Belt.
Mkwai.
Mkwai. Na ini nataka kutele kwa sefile tika mtalo chetu cha Zambia. Intekunga kwa vifema president Lungu waranja tukushire bulo shi takwabo kupampamira ekintu icho yole munati abantu tabalefwa tukasangwepo banamukosa pofi takwaba and ifintu fileme fyaba tule mutalo chetu cha Zambia tule ibukafu abantu ilo mupashi walela njali mwalesi seminari mufya kuntashi ilo bakateka balipo walesi seminari mufya kuntashi sikara chitika nomba kwa batu bali ba blind nukwamba kusalo echitumbi umuntu wa andi muntu anako sapofye bajimwe bantu mulichirishe mule supporta vya tawe kaidi tulefa kaidi ni statement kaidi iwe uyu muntu waro hare fintu tare mposa kwa manisha tare tare efoka sangwe po mano ya sengashi icharo toze chireda na bada wafya wantu ni chinshisho bakosere pokanchi bako batuika sangwapo as a government bakusaba umuntu fya umu baje ari indirect are pange fintu fo abantu na beshi baje ule panga be push to general da baje barenda muna nikarimu funde ya tira twasala pukafu bantu bambokura muna kunta in future eso ate uko bale twala nikisa ni muchirindi nangu bale twala pasuma tufire twaishi wabushe bale twala nangu bale twala kwisa because ngambombo ko muntu kwa yintu tachire bakali pabe na icho bale fwa be na kuiranga ku bantu ajao twali babwino libenisha
So and later then what in this field no therefore to feel to point to abantu aba ukukulanda kani mumushiwe na tetu ikale pofira nyo chama ni bakwa bati beka sangwe kwa abeka sangwa bati takwa abana kusangwa abantu bese bati bara atuma direct no because you ole bomfya maka aona tukwata bare tukonga so twakora tinya abantu takulifya kutinya abantu balabali kusala Afrika bali na bamayo bali nebo chikalipe tachikalipe aho bena bale focus ala ukubasalutira yonse bara basalutira yonse fefo basalutira bose bakonga fefo basalutira chapwa so bena bale kefe bamayo bashike ifo wale nani le somu na le wale ponena nangu tulepepa bonse fi tulepepa tafya katitika mamano ya bufuntu ya bwa mwi ya bwo tafya kautitike tulepepa na totera.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. Please call. Let's hear your views. Let's hear your views. Today we're discussing the two issues, the disappearance of Why Me. We've gotten more details of the wedding that he undertook, and then the issue regarding the late president. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from. Yole sale tupala shana imwe.
We know Amamba. We're doing very well. I'm calling from Manchester.
Yes, my brother.
I did a few days ago on your program.
Nimweba ni amashina yama from Manchester. Okay, vamwava landeni pona imwe.
I'm sure. Sometimes you fail to understand. And these guys, this government, they've really exposed themselves so much. It's like they sleep and they try to manufacture their own constitution and legal frameworks that are just so confusing and exposing them. Exactly what Michael Sata used to say, that we're under 5 years. Politics, they don't know how to do things. Because all these issues is just embarrassing our country. Instead of us putting the ECO to rest, some of us, we can't move on because we're still burning. And when you sit down as a human being, as long as you've got the conscience and the Holy Spirit in you, when you see what's happening to the ECO family, it's you can't like such a thing, you know. And even this whole case, there's no case there. The constitution is very clear, you know. So whatever they're trying to achieve, or whether they're just trying to put the ECO family in courts and just trying to give them more legal fees and expenses and stuff, trying to squeeze them, only God knows. But for me, I think what I wanted to say, I think in Amuchita, this is how bad our country has become, where people are calling, but if not, you know, for me, that speaks volume more than what we are saying now. Where people calling now, that's like you're living in a country where that's not a democracy. Zambia is no longer a democratic country. Yes, we have elections, but then what's happening? It's proper dictatorship where people now, no, in the copper belt. You can't live like that. You can't live like that. You continue to live like that is a time bomb, and people are going to act in a way that we don't want to happen. So I think keep on giving people the platform, and we'll keep on coming and support you. But this, whatever the government they're doing, is just a waste of time. It's not going to take them anywhere, and they'll definitely lose. The South Africans made it very clear. We can only give the body to the family. So number one, do you think the South Africans are going to change the constitution for HH and his friends? This is a joke. It's a waste of time. So I think thank you so much for the opportunity.
Thank you, Manchester. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. It's Friday today. We'll be closing in the next 15 minutes. Make your calls. Good evening. Please tell us your name and where you're calling us from. Bamutale London Ponaimo. Where are you calling us from? Mkwaiwa mtalilandeni po.
Shishi wechikosere pamubiri wava Edgar Chagwa Lungu na government na ngochi warefo okushininkisha na ngochi warefo okuchitako amba ninkwatako solution ukushika kwafe okushika vyombiri weka ndanga bawo chera kuchabashana akuti fyonse fipwe bakoche fyo mubiri kosinali mwana paone so amuzire mbala chiteofi plus kuri you why me umuntu nangwale tukana ali kwa tensa ambusha kumukaka not ukumuka so government ifwera tontonkanya posana ali fyonse fintu balechita so yomubiri yes yo ngawakano kutira ti bale ufwaisha sana abalupwa eba kwetepwa maka wakayeocha rombo wakaletorombe mitu tukesa shika.
Okay, thank you very much. Good evening, please tell us your name and where you're calling us from.
Yeah, Mwamba, it's Patrick Chinofia from the UK.
Thank you, sir. Make your contributions.
Mwamba, chakosa shan. Because ECL, Mwamba, the nation knows that I'm not PF.
Yeah.
I'm an activist. You know, when HH was incarcerated for a treason case, which was supposed to be a serious traffic case, we supported him. And this time, I think the way ECL was treated was not good. And we're supporting him. But Bamwamba, what surprises me is the same people are saying they didn't deny ECL AMA benefits because it was the law. You know, the state, former president
Benefits Act.
Benefits Act. So which means when ECL was alive, he was not entitled to any state benefits. So he was a private person, including funeral, because even funeral benefits expenses are part of the state benefits, isn't it, Ramam? So ECL, by the time Alefwa, he died as a private person, no state benefits. So now why, in his death, why are they saying he's a state asset? So are they telling us the president has got power to abrogate the constitution and change the law and say now posthumously ECA now qualifies for state funeral benefits? So, but I can't add one and one. Why they are so much interested in a body of a person? They stripped off the benefits, including the same expenses they are spending now on lawyers and in South Africa, everything. Why? You know, and then why suing a family that is grieving? I rest my case, Ramon. But you know, them need to understand why the state ikosele pamubiri waka Lungu. When he was alive, I rest my case.
Thank you very much, my brother. Thank you. You can call back, sir. You can call back. I guess you can call back. I see you wanted to make some contributions. Let's see if we can get him back quickly.
Hello, my brother.
Yes. Did you still have something else to speak to?
Yes, I just wanted to add something. Fellow Zambians, Zambia will never develop in a law, you remember this law was passed, law ya kukanya president ingaingrama active politics kumpokama benefits. That was a draconian law.
Yeah.
It was passed specifically to stop Kaunda from coming back to politics. So Bamwamba, after my presidents have they should have abolished this law. Because this law is against our constitution. Because Mwamba, you and myself, it's our constitutional right to affiliate ourselves to any political party.
And to your pensions and benefits, Ngawabo.
And to your pension and benefits. So this should have been stopped. Even by HH, we're expecting people like by HH, Wanawasa, and them to come and repeal this law. Because this law was, but you know why? Every president benefits out of this. They've kept it in case
they want to punish the predecessor.
Are well about politics. Just like the Public Order Act. A lot of Zambians don't know that the Public Order Act was passed in 1956 by the then Governor Arthur Benson of Northern Rhodesia. Why did he pass that law? To prevent abantu abafika bakaunda and them to agitate for independence. And then what did he do? When they protested, Kaunda vowed that I'm gonna abolish this law when I come into power in 1964. What did he do?
Yeah.
He only changed the name from Public Security Regulation into Public Order Act. And what did he do? He jailed Kapwepwe for 77 days in Mungu. And every president, Chiluba, Mwanawasa, everybody promised to, even HH, promised to abolish or repeal the Public Order Act. They never did it because once they come in there, they know the weapon to use against their opponent. In Shicharo Chikachita develop Shani. Kusa Africa, the best example of Mwamba. Tawakwata Polo, Barikwata States benefit. Mbeki is enjoying all the former presidents enjoy, including funerals. Mbeki, the former president of South Africa, decided to rebel against his own party because he wasn't happy the way Zuma was ruling the country. And he voted against ANC. Did they chase him from ANC? Did they stop benefits? Did they pass a law to say, let's punish this guy? Let's pass a law that whoever goes back into active politics will lose some benefits. These are things that are going to make our country not to go forward. I rest my case.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Wachlufia. Thank you very much. Yeah. Please make your calls. We then close the program at the hour. Today we are discussing two critical items. We're discussing the latest move by the Attorney General of the Republic of Zambia, who has filed what is called a motion. In this motion, he has amended his demand. In the earlier application, he had just sought to prevent the family from burying the late president and from conducting the funeral. In this new amended version, he wants a body of the late president. He alleges that the president's body is state property and must be returned to Zambia to be accorded military honors, culture and tradition that they've accorded the previous presidents. And he's no longer asking the family or the Republic of South Africa. He just wants the court to order them to surrender the body and the remains of the late president to Zambia. Of course, I've just read a letter to you that showed that a letter written by Cabinet Office that stripped of all benefits of the late president. They even closed the office of the sixth president and dispersed the security and staff that were allocated to the office, and the office was closed. The president died without any of these benefits. The president died literally as a private citizen. And then we have rulings and precedent from South Africa, which courts have favored the next of kin, in this case, Mama Esther Lungu. The country has been discussing just even the propensity and the morality of suing a grieving family. The entire family has been sued, including the Attorney General, including the undertaker. Now they've added the government of the Republic of Zambia. That was our first leg of discussion. The second leg of discussion was on Waimi, the young man that went missing on 2nd June, was transported to Lusaka, was detained at Lilai police station. He has not been seen since. He has not been seen since 2nd June 2025. Reports emerged that he had died in police custody, succumbing to the wounds of torture and beatings on 9th June 2025. This entire process was preceded by a purported engagement where the Nwami was told that a passport was being brought to and rings were being brought to Harare. Tell us your name and where you're calling us from.
Anonymous.
Anonymous, make your contributions.
Number one, the death of Francis Kapwepwe is quite unfortunate, and it is painting a very bad picture on the government, as what is started as rumors to say the government has been abducting people, the government has been killing people, the government has been doing extrajudicial killings. Now it is visible and intangible. The evidence is clearly now seen. Despite Francis Kapwepwe's utterances and sentiments against the president, we cannot justify his death as a non-material, because he's a Zambian citizen. In the first place, the government exists to protect its citizens. That's number one. So the citizens that are now seeing what Francis Kapwepwe has been treated, they will get to be worried as to what kind of a parent, what kind of a father that are overseeing their lives, that are overseeing their souls are. So this must be a worry to the government, and the government must quickly come out and state the facts. Even if they didn't know where Francis Kapwepwe went after the court process, the first court process, they should state the fact clearly. They should go to Zimbabwe. If it was purported that he was in Zimbabwe, they could have gone to Zimbabwe and interact with the Zimbabwean government, so that they establish the fact and settle the matter to the Zambian people, because every government is answerable to the citizens. So all these things, they may think that people are not seeing. They are looking and people are not reacting. People are reacting. Then second, the death of ECL. We have already stated to government mismanaged the process. And again, it's like the way they say in Bemba to say, you cannot inflict pain upon a pain. There is a pain. People are mourning. You know, those who have lost, everyone here, even including the president, HAKAINDE HICHILEMA, has lost a relative, has lost a close one. He knows how it feels by heart when you lose a person or a pillar in your family. So, on top of that, then you take them to court. Surely, where is tradition wisdom? Indeed, this is why our forefathers, normally they say, education is not a natural wisdom. Education just provides for you to get employed or to gain certain privileges in the employment sector. But wisdom, we normally develop wisdom through consultation, through somebody to be taught or somebody to guide you. Now it's like that the present government and the UPND team, there is nobody who is guiding the president. The president is not answerable to anyone, and this is why we are seeing all this miserable. The president said it would be laughable to the world to be laughing at us. Indeed, the world is laughing at us from the one that the former president died. So it doesn't give a confidence, and it goes by the scripture to say, whoever that God wants to destroy, they first make them mad. I think this is madness that we are seeing. Clearly, this is madness. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, we to the Kumatero on this topic for today. Thank you for the huge turnout and thank you for your cause. They keep the matter alive. It's incumbent upon the state to disclose where YME is, and then this action they've taken, we hear from other stakeholders. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
Anonymous, calling from Lusaka, Zambia.
Anonymous, make your contributions.
Yeah, inechirempa pusha kofi kwena ba mwamba. Ubuteko wachita su. Ubuteko wa South Africa. Pusha kwena. Ubuteko wa South Africa. Bukwete bote ya mkwai. Ubuteko wa South Africa. Bukwete bote. In short. Is that correct?
Yes, correct.
Okay, but moreover, the family has the final say over the body. Is that not so?
The government attorney general says no, it's up to government. So they want to take the body with or without the consent of the family.
Shame.
That's the latest development. Thank you. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
Hello.
Tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
Back again, Beauty from Lusaka. I'm back again, sir.
Yes, Beauty.
A quick one. I know that we have UPND. I can see from the comments, I'm supporters for UPND. One thing that I want to say as a last word is, we've seen the celebration that UPND has done over the funeral, especially our ECL. This has made everything to be the way it is because of the celebration. Honestly speaking, like I concur with other callers, Wuloshi, that is witchcraft. That is witchcraft by UPND. Believe me, you know what? Because of what has been happening in the country, me, as for one, I don't even vote. I never used to vote. But this time around, because of what is happening, I even registered as a voter. This is showing us to say this is where things are going. We've seen your hearts. We've seen everything. And I would like to also, please, those that are listening, go and pass the message to our president. Please, Bakateka Wesu, you are a father. Being a father, kufipuba, kuba kwatamano abana, we are parent, Nakuri wonse. So being the president of Zambia, Bakateka HAKAINDE HICHILEMA is a father to everybody of us, everyone. Now, what is happening is clearly showing to say the country has divided, And like my brother was saying from I don't know, from the diaspora, he was saying to say everything that is happening has exposed the hearts of everyone. Please, celebration not to imuna. You know what? I remember one of my lecturers used to say, when you go and do a community work, wherever you go, this is an indication to say what is coming is not good. Whatever, I don't know. Please, celebration not to imuna, celebrate, but next year you'll see what is going to happen. Even here last to come for celebration of my camp Kumbuko, because where the thing is going, like everyone is saying, tabawine kesi there could be Mama Esther Lungu, and ambassador ukubika na mayo show wido mamu bikale tambage tumbi from the devil mebakwa from South Africa is so heartless. So heartless, I'm telling you. Ina shatala mona pona ngusha kulira kale sana. Shatala mona po fya chitika uno mkulo. Chatalanga wonse. I don't want to do repetitions of going back to whatever that has been spoken. We dokumbulo kumutwala koti chua. Honestly speaking, awa tukesa vota maturenga tukafuma mkuvota okata tuvota. Let me tell you, mwalase kana muta celebrate like we've been seeing mwapanga yo tafuire chama na shani mwabula bena tasira mwabula mwapanga mule panga ma videos pangeni shtenu na ikumana. So the Bible says, he who digs a pit shall fall into it. He who breaks a wall, the snake, the serpent will bite. Alenso kaika misumande miba. Abantu bakwalesa, ichalo chakwalesa, Psalms 24. The earth belongs to the Lord. It doesn't belong to anybody. And it's one that has got power to put kings and to remove. Remember that power, no matter how somebody can be, no matter how powerful you can be, lesaka mitento laka mifumiapo. Believe me, you. Lekeni ba Esther Lungu ba maiba loshe, lekeni ba shike chitumbi chabo kuna nanan kane yabo. Bulosh, believe me, you. Bulosh umpampa mino asota wawama. Abena bakana tabalefa. Why can't we just leave it like that? Bachiko queen. Number UPN, lekeni no kulanda papa chitumbi chabeni, pachiro chabeni. Imwenga tamufa well and good. Malikwata long life. Mkwai nato utaramkwai.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
I've seen a posting by Kasonde Simwenda that his house is surrounded. I've seen a post from Kasonde Mwenda, the EFF president, that his house is surrounded by the police. That they've surrounded his. I'm trying to call him just now to see if we can get him live. I'll try also to get those that are close to him. Let me call his Secretary General. This is a developing story. Kasonde Mwenda has been surrounded by police. He has posted that on his page. Let me see if I can get someone from EFF to comment about this matter of Kasonde Mwenda. It's a developing story that his house has been surrounded by the police. I'll try to get Kasonde Mwenda. Hello, please tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
Thank you, Mr. Mwamba. Conceal my identity.
That is fine.
Sure, thank you. Mr. Mwamba, I want to contribute on two things. The first thing is for Waimi with Kapwepwe.
Francis Kapwepwe.
Francis Kapwepwe. Mr. Mwamba, Ambassador, you know that in the universal human rights, everyone has a right to life.
Yes.
And we have seen people in other countries who have committed serious offenses, of which such governments have made sure that those people, they just pass through a due process of the law and they are convicted. If it is true, or rather if it is true that the current regime has done this extrajudicial killing of Waimi, it's very unfortunate, and that means that we have a very dangerous regime in this country. No matter how Waimi did all those things, the best was to apprehend him, take him through the due process of the law, and the law could have worked. That is how the system works. Now, if you can have a government that can arrest someone and kill him in such a manner, if that is true, that is very unfortunate, and we don't need such a regime in this country. They need, in short, to come up open to explain where that person is, because there's no smoke without fire. They have been saying that the person was apprehended by them and he was killed by the police officers in the cells because of the injuries that he had to succumb to, which is very unfortunate, Mr. Mwamba. If that is true, that Waimi is no more, it's very unfortunate. We don't deserve this government in the next 2026. The other issue, Mr. Mwamba, is the issue of the board of the Red 60th Republican president. This issue, Mr. Mwamba, it's in white and black. The family is the one which is supposed to decide. The late president died when his benefit were stripped off. He died as someone who is just a common man. You see? So why is he so important today to the government? And you know, these people are just frustrating the entire process of burying the 63rd president. Because they will just wake up today, they have this application in the court. They wake up the following day, they have this application in court. Right now they have made another amendment. We don't do that as a country. They need to respect the dead body. They need to respect. Even if someone is dead, he has people that are speaking for him. Yeah. So there is need that there is supposed to be harmony between the government and the family. And moreover, it is the government which should listen to the family, not the family listening to the government. When someone died, when his benefits were stripped off, he was mistreated. Someone who was moved out of the plane, you know, he was broke everywhere. We don't do that. What they have done, they have shown the country that they are not even capable to keep this country. It's a main reason why people are suffering, things have gone bad to worse, and someone is busy praising himself when things are like this in this country. It's
My
a
brother,
shame, Mr. Mam.
yeah, thank you.
Let
Let me take some more calls before we close. It's after the hour. We must close. It's after the hour. Good evening. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from. Hello. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from. Hello.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening. Please make your contributions.
Hello, good evening.
Please make your contributions.
Yes, I'm calling from Lusaka. My contribution is really brief. I just want to, it's a suggestion. I don't know if you can help with the family. Maybe they should just cremate the body, because what's the fuss about the body? What is it that they want? So the truth of the matter is, even if Baba Ocha Bakale Temitoy Kunobakesashika Hamashes, he'll still lie in his motherland. Maybe that will help, and we just want the family to rest. They've been through a lot, and it's really, you know, heartbreaking to see them like that. It's been too much for them. I don't know how these people are feeling, but for some of us who are seeing them, how they have been grieving all this time, it's too much for them. So since balefo ashokwe bati balungu bese balale muno mchalo chavo mchivote limbe baboche efero bakalete fyama ashes, it will all amount to the same thing. He will still lie in Zambia. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. We are tracking a story of Kasonde Mwenda, EFF president, whose house has been surrounded. He has posted on his page that his house is surrounded by persons he suspects are police officers. I'm trying to call him to see if he can go live from his place, but he's not picking up the phone yet. I hope they haven't nabbed him already, but our thoughts and prayers are with him. This is not the best way to start your weekend for an opposition leader. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from. Yo twabomba shana imwe.
Awe ture awe bamwamba nefya kulanda na fipwa. Ibi byashumwale teri abaga nena kirafu afiati lero na naumfwa kofi shala nde polo chima. Nombe byashumwale teri abaga sonde mwende. Awe efe fitampa kuri aba bantu abena Zambia changeling aba bantu, they are very calculating and they always get their cue from the man at the top. Uyu muntu alilandire ati nga twashika mukamona ifi twatampa okulamona nomba na abatampa I remember when I was growing up, iyo vakaunda vachitire ripio ifunde ryaku kukanya ifilangiriro fimbi amapati yambi vachiruva varilandire ati mwevena Zambia, this is not a time to celebrate. When you kill a snake, make sure you go for the head and remove the head. Otherwise, this snake will come back and bite you. Inendefwa fendombe kukuvena Zambia. Tenshita ya kuikale apanshi ino tulimo. Ifine bonse valelanda tukavota na vakavote. Vantu ngatituvotele awe tatushirwe oko tukafika. Uyu muntu uyu nashupa kanshi mweve na Zambia tuikatane ififya kweva tine inevo PF inevo socialist fifumepo apa chilipo chalo tufuire tuapoka ama politics. We can do politics later. Inoshita I think umurimo ulipo uwakubomba kufumiapo yumuntu. You know, bamwamba abanensu vaishile kuno nalisa mona vapinwe mpundo. As I was driving out, and I said, I think I need to speak to this man. Then, obviously, you know, my wife said, imwena imwefyama politics, inkuchiriro kuno. No, just greet him and mwilanda pofimbi. Filia chitike parliament filia bamwamba. I think we've been well. I don't think it will end up there. Tofo fitampa abantu vatampe fine panono.
Wambo kusonsomba panono.
And then they make you a victim. So bamwamba ndekoseresha fya abantu besu bakose. Iliashiri tarire ya wino. It's very, very disheartening what is happening. You know, abantu tetibale chisafe disappear. You know, where, you know, if you have idea mini if you know to a tampo class, if you have bantu kula chisafe disappear. You know, why do we have courts? Why do we have prisons? Prisons are there for Zambians who break the law. Anyway, I don't want to say things what other people have already said. Everybody knows that. And that child or that boy needed to go to court. If it needed putting him in jail, put him in jail. But you don't kill him. You know? Nganaba mwipaya nishkwena awe chashupa. You know? Chashupa.
Bane Natasha sana like anybody if I can take the other cause. You're Natasha sana. Let me take the other cause as well. Thank you. Let's see if we can take some more calls. Hello, please tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
Yes, Imano Mamba.
Yes, sir. You're to Abombashan Naimwe. Mkwaiba Mtale, make your contributions.
Imano Mambecho na tumina nipari wa Kasonde.
Bakasonde mwenda Mkwai.
Bakasonde ratera letu mafoni. Sipono kuyuki. Kwa di baba nensu wamo. Awa haba musystem. Awa tupera kwa information. So kura besta shimo kwa ti wamfa wakupera information. Mbo wala tumina. Watumini uvarondorwele. Like nali watumina irate. Uvarondorwele ati veni careful. Obare foku mikata. Na wachita organize ifya so na so. Nali tubaba Imano Mamba almost 10 times wakasonde mwenda tawalenja so. Nali tuma. Kozi bakala mbaba namba tukweta ama namba tuwakwata ya kuyuke. Kujua kuchenje shama family za tuo. Kuli fya so na so. Bakia mapu hapo. Usango kupresi ya so. Mwamanaga.
Mkwai.
Awale tupela information wamu. Bantu badi musystem umwa wabadi. Tete ape yori muzambia. Ala ape yori ukutari. Pako tupela information. Mba hata watu wabatumina phone tabale kwa suka. Kia wakasonde mwenda. Nali batuminanga wachekinga namba ndi wakaisanga. Nali tumine almost 4 times tabale jaso.
Mkwai.
Natu batabale jaso. Rombe fya kwa tinti. Teparasti na labako. Mwamanaga. So, yomo wachirandi ya wakasonde mwenda. Teti ndabwe. Vali mpera information. Kuma guys wa mu UPND. Yako wati ali mu UPND. Nokuli ale. Ya badifile chitika tali happy.
Mkwai.
So, edi ingia kwa tangfeli mwene sometimes na mitumina. Yako na mitumina fenomo direct ko. Sometimes prisoner papa tam saving a number which to alala and nakura impera ma information if you chitika. Kwa waba nensu wa mwa mu system. Aba kwa bati bala kupera information party. Eti bakwebe.
Mkwai.
So dombo muntu wala tulile problem. Wala mwana ni ba nani ho ni ba Imano Mamba limbo wala tumalibi mota mwasuke limbe bo ishi beta basuke. Para tuwale kama mwana ga. So please na papa tabakalamba. Insta tulipo yako bombera pamoja ikatishanya.
Chachine. Thank you, my brother. Thank you, my brother.
Guys, balesiro kulanda because kimono kwebati na uka komando pamukoshi. Sherife nombo kufyenta mwamala wale fo ukulika. So balesiro kulanda guys.
Thank you very much, my brother. Thank you so much. I'll store your number and I'll give you my other number too.
Okay, my brother.
I've always advised my colleagues to answer their phones because you just don't know who will help you with the information. Hello, my brother, you are our last caller. Make your contributions. Introduce yourself and make your contributions.
Good evening, Ambassador.
Good evening.
Okay, I think this is MK again.
Yes, sir. Make your contribution, sir.
Yeah. All right, okay. I just also wanted to touch on the Mwenda issue. Maybe if someone can reach him, if he can just go on live so that these guys are exposed. And this has been our advice that we are giving to those people who are talking because they are following everyone who is talking.
Yeah.
So make sure whenever you observe something and familiar, you just go live. If you have got CCTVs, make sure they are all on, you know. And I'm sure he never shooting village TV. Nida lava kwe wale tuingirira bwe.
Mkwai.
So let's be just careful. And those with Kasonde Mwenda's number, please let's call him to go live so that we see these Bamkukuru. Wachula.
Thank you very much, my brother. Good day.
The Zambian government has urged the family of Edgar Lungu to agree on an out-of-court settlement of a dispute over the former president's funeral. The Zambian government had obtained a court order blocking Lungu's burial in the neighboring South Africa last month. Lungu's family had announced that he would be buried privately in Johannesburg on June 25th, 2025. The family's decision came after it failed to reach a mutually acceptable funeral plan with the government of President HAKAINDE HICHILEMA. Initially, Lungu's body was to be flown to Zambia's capital, Lusaka, on June 18th ahead of a 3-day public viewing, a funeral service on June 22nd and burial on June 23rd. However, that plan collapsed at the last minute despite the South African government lining up military commanders at a Johannesburg airport to bid farewell to the former Zambian leader. President Hichilema would later publicly apologize to South Africa. Lungu and Hichilema had strained relations with both sides, often accusing the other of political targeting during their respective presidencies. Lungu died of an undisclosed illness while receiving treatment in South Africa's capital, Pretoria, on June 5th. In April this year, Zambia's Information Permanent Secretary Thabo Kawana had disclosed that Lungu was undergoing chemotherapy for cancer. Upon Lungu's death, his family said that he had left instructions that President Hichilema should not attend his funeral. But following a round of meetings in South Africa, Lungu's family and the Zambian government agreed that President Hichilema would attend and preside over Lungu's state funeral. But that did not come to pass after Lungu's family announced he would be buried in South Africa due to unresolved issues with the Zambian government. And now, to end the impasse, Zambia, through Information Minister Cornelius Mwetwa, says it has written to Lungu's family to have the dispute resolved out of court. The matter of Lungu's burial venue is scheduled for full hearing at the Pretoria High Court on August 4th. Lungu, who died aged 68, served as Zambia's 6th president from 2015 to 2021.
Na kuyalelo tevyo bayepi Amita pendwa ya vintu fisume vyoza kula kuibukisha Kana depochimo Wimbo wa temenu wa katongi Awazunga watita katongi na kula kuibukisha kateka Kaibuku muna kapona Neseko siove pameso Yamwa maume maya Kiyaba maume
Twakulila, lelo twakulila Shika kukonke milimo shove
Ale filamba, yena minta pengo sile Eti kume moku londolo la vale Lilo wingi,
Iseko wingi mwakwete Iseko wingi mwakwete Mwaya mwende wino tata wesu
Katushi muchi wakege Wali bomba kale Lomba mwatu jatuleli lake
Penda
ibiseko wapangiri obulungi okuchinja olusago kumoneko busaka mama kutituwala basiyani Chagwa katuse.
I am cultured different. I don't want people confronting me like this, because where I grew up, we fear nothing. When you confront me, you're creating a problem there.
Today is Independence Day here in the United States. They celebrate it on 4th July. They obtained their independence on July 4th, 1776, establishing the United States. There are various activities that are going on here in the United States, and we wish them well as they remember their dead. I attended an event this morning, where you pledge allegiance to the flag and to the country. I thought that was very patriotic, very evoking. Even children are taught to pledge allegiance to the flag and recite these very rich words. Until next time, probably on Monday, we have to watch these developments, unless it's something very sudden and very important, and I might come back to broadcast. But until Monday, enjoy the weekend and enjoy the long extended holiday. God bless you. God bless our country. Shalom, shalom. Sorry, I'd said my goodbyes and I'd wished you a happy weekend, but I've just gotten information from Kasonde's home. Yes, he's still surrounded by the police there at his house. He's trying to get a lawyer and try to see how, but the police are insistent they're at his house and they want to pick him up, and unfortunately can't come live on this program because the police are at his residence. For those that are near Kasonde Mwenda's home, please rush there and give him solidarity. This is late in the night and the police want to fish him away from his home. We don't know if they are police with this era of abductions. So give him solidarity. For those that are near, for members of the press, please rush to Kasonde Mwenda's home and see how what the matters are. So God bless you. Until next week, we'll see you.